Okay.
Go ahead.
All righty. Hello, this is Todd with Julia, and we are going to be talking about getting a job. Thank you so much, Melanie and Anna and all the folks who make up Accessibility Fest this year with Disability SA. It's a wonderful event. It's gone on for 14 years now, and we'd love to be a part of it. Thank you for inviting us. And I know that me and Julia are following a wonderful briefing by Texas Workforce earlier today. And I believe they talked about a lot of the services they provide. And so this is a good follow-on for that, because this is gets in a little bit more detail about what you, the listener, and the attendees, the amazing attendees that are here for Accessibility Fest today, what you and your children and your friends and family who possibly have any type of disability, the things that they can do, excuse me, things that they can do to help get a job. And so that's our focus, and we're thankful to be here. Let's, Julia, if you don't mind, we can go to the next slide and see what's up for the show here. All righty. So, you know, it's all about folks, right? Everything that we do and that Disability SA does. Hello, Elizabeth. I'm sorry I didn't see you.
I was trying to log on.
Thank you, Elizabeth. I'll slow down for you while you do that. We have an interpreter here, and she's signing for those who need it. And we have also, I think, this new capability of captioning is showing up as well. Is that right, Anna?
That is very correct.
Great, very cool. You guys are on it. So, about jobs, you see these beautiful faces here. These are just pictures for most of you guys, but for us, these are like real people who have real jobs at real places like HEB and the San Antonio Zoo, right? It's a wonderful jobs. So we do what we do to help those folks out there who have some type of disability. We focus on, we as in professional contract services, focus on those who have intellectual disabilities and in transition, you know, school age, you know, 16 to, let's say, 25 or 26, somewhere in there. That's what Julia and I do in San Antonio, and I'll talk about that more in a moment. But very generally, PCSI is an older company. It's mostly a federal contractor. It's out of Austin. There's about 2,000 employees. Most of those have disabilities. And most of those employees are working on military bases, like Camp Bullis in San Antonio. We have a couple hundred at Fort Hood in the mess halls. And I say mess halls because I'm an old soldier. I can do that. We have several hundred in the hospital at Fort Carson, Colorado, and on and on. All of these, most of these peoples do have disabilities. And so they do so well that they set me and Julia and another coworker named Ken Berg, set us free in San Antonio and said, just go get great young kids some great jobs. And I say kids lovingly, you know that. So that's what Julia and I and Ken have been doing now for several years. 377 placements. That's, you know, one at a time, right? And I think most of you who deal with our amazing population know that there are lots of challenges with all these placements, and you see some you know, different stores and different businesses that these folks work at. This program that Julia and I and Ken run is called the Community Employment Program, or we call it the CEP. And you can see those are just several of the placements that we have been able to do. Let's see, Amazon. So what's really cool is that we, even though we are a federal contractor under the Ability One program, we do have a civilian, you know, non-federal contract, right, with Amazon. And so PCSI has a formal contract to place persons that work for Amazon into all the facilities in the state of Texas. We also have a contract on a call center that we run for Amazon. So Julia and Ken and I have been placed about 90 folks since COVID in Amazon, just that alone, in addition to all the other places. Great jobs, right? It's an amazing, amazing organization. We do this for nothing. Of course, it's all scot-free to our clients. We do take VRS clients, that's Vocational Rehabilitation Services from the Texas Workforce Commission. We do that as well, but we don't have to or need to. We can work independently of them, and we often do. So you can see the services that are provided there on the right: resumes, interviews, job training, coaching, modeling, those kind of things. There's a whole lot of wonderful organizations in San Antonio, like the River City Group, like the Unicorn, like Reaching Maximum Independence, and Care Warriors. There's lots of folks who are in the vocational business. I know I left many out, but we are so thankful to have folks like them and folks like Disability SA, because they actually provide a lot of the groundwork and education. All the teachers out there, the ISDs, the special education departments, all the wonderful organizations, SA Life Academy, many others who are in the life skills business, right? And so we do some of that, but we have the pleasure and honor of just helping those find volunteer positions or jobs, right? So that's what we're all about. And I have said enough, I think, about who we are and where we come from. And I am going to turn this briefing over to Julia Stotts, who's going to give you a little bit more detail on your role and the part that you can play in helping your client, your loved one, get a job. Julia.
This is Julia. Thank you for joining us today. As Todd was explaining, we do have several services that we offer. And if you look at these services, they're also ones that your adult could receive while they're in school. So one of the things we try to stress is finding those services that you can currently access wherever you are. So in high school, they do have resume building, teach interview schools, do some job training, task analysis, things like that that are going to help your adult be able to obtain a job more easily and in the area that they're most interested in. Right here we have a couple of, to show you some pictures. This is one of our guys who works at HEB. We have a couple of Amazon, Bill Miller's, Home Depot, Walmart. There's our San Antonio Zoo. We have several people there. And Vidora. This is one of our elevator operators, some more Amazon and Dollar General here. And let me go back one slide, let's see. So one of the things that we try to encourage, for some reason this is going by its own. Okay, one of the things we try to talk to parents and to our clients about is what can you do now to be ready for employment? There are a lot of programs within your school system, if they're still in school, automotive, electrician, data entry, stocking opportunities there in your school warehouse, cafeteria, and janitorial. A lot of these opportunities, we're starting to see jobs in plumber helpers, electrician helpers, auto techs who work at Discount Tire, maybe Take 5, positions that require some level of understanding, but not a certification. So we really try to encourage you to go to your school and advocate on behalf of your student, to talk to them about how can your student get involved in some of those magnet programs and STEM programs that are going to be able to open some doors for you. Texas Workforce Solutions has pre-employment training. They have lots of dollars that they'd like to spend on that. So I'd encourage you to look for your local Texas Workforce counselor in your area to be able to get some help there. Some other things that you can do is do some transition planning. 14, 15-year-olds usually go through that. They're doing their IEP and their ARDS. And one of the things that are missing in those IEPs are community partners. So Texas Workforce Solutions, those counselors, they will attend IEPs with you. PCSI will attend an IEP or an ARD meeting. We've attended them in the past. Your school also has some community-based vocational instruction, most likely. Those are some things to ask to be put into an IEP, asking for a career assessment. That's super important. But these are all, once they're in your student's IEP, your school district is bound to provide those services. So I would start asking for those as early as 8th grade, 9th grade, 10th grade. It's never too early. One of the things that every student needs to do is to volunteer. That helps with college applications. It also helps with getting a job. It'll beef up your resume. Employers like to know you're busy. They want to know that you're learning new skills like teamwork, dependability, adaptability. So volunteering is key for a lot of our clients because they oftentimes don't have an opportunity to get a job while they're in high school. But volunteering, we can put that. We'll have some volunteer ideas in just a moment right here. Christian Assistance Ministry, food pantry workers, clothing assistants. Those are job skills, hanging up clothes, sorting skills, sorting food items, reading labels. Pets Alive, you help the pets to where they get socialization skills so that people will want to adopt them. Children's Hunger Fund, you're packing and sorting items. Assisted living homes, that is a great place for your young adult to get some experience. Some of them could be scanning, copying in the office, assisting with games for the residents, even reading books for the residents, visiting with them. Just basic skills that you're going to get from working in that environment. And of course, you see here some of our other favorites are the San Antonio Food Bank, Goodwill, the San Antonio Humane Society, and volunteer at your church, school, and home. And when you're volunteering, write down those opportunities, and then we can help with that resume building to beef that up and add what exactly did you learn when you were doing those volunteer opportunities. One of the things that I think sometimes parents forget is that when you are developing those transition goals in high school, be sure to ask what other opportunities does the school have for your adult to get involved in. Those opportunities could be there on campus, or they could be outside opportunities that your school has made connections. I'm going to let Todd talk for a minute about some of our work-based learning opportunities that we have helped schools to develop in the, I guess, the last 5 years to give clients the ability to obtain some job skills. So Todd, do you want to talk about those workplace, the work-based learning environment that you've helped to create?
Sure, Julia. You know, and Julia did this for a year or so with the school system herself, and our coworker Ken also did as well. I am just so amazed at the heart and the beauty and the souls of these salt of the earth folks in San Antonio who manage all these places you see here, who manage Pets Alive, who manage Goodwill, who manage the food bank, who manage the Dollar Generals and the Home Depots and the HEBs, on and on, right? USAA. We've placed people at so many, the zoo, Six Flags, Fiesta Texas, SeaWorld, on and on. You know, rarely do I ever run into a manager who is just really not interested. There's a few, right? And they have their own life going, but most of the managers in San Antonio, when I started this, I didn't think they would be so open-hearted and open-minded, but they are. So while we're in there looking for jobs for our precious, you know, young adults, and talking to the managers, often there's no job available, right? I mean, it's just nothing there. It's a matter of timing, right? So we always ask, well, listen, if you don't have a position, you know, for employment, would you mind working with us, with me, and with Disability SA and whomever we partner with their clients, right, as a referral, to allow some young adults or adults to volunteer here. to help out. It's really for training, and it does take a little bit of an obligation from the company. We've done this with Home Depots. We've done it with Dollar Generals. I mean, anyone who's goodwill, of course, have been doing this for years. They're very open to folks coming in a couple hours in the morning or a couple hours in the afternoon and being monitored by an employee, by an associate, and helping them learn basic work skills, right? Coming their work on time, being hygienic, right? Looking the part, acting the part, and then learning the task and doing the task adequately enough that, you know, the job gets done. This is really basic skills. And most of y'all know that the socialization characteristics of some of our population is something that, you know, that needs some improvement. We all need improvement in that area, but the interpersonal skills required to work in some of these stores, they're public stores, right? And so those interpersonal skills are very, very important. And I think our population, that's an aspect of training they get that is so helpful when it comes to landing that really good job that pays well, and that they can have a career with and not just be a job. So these managers have opened their doors to I think we've had about 75 clients who went through this program. We love it because they get to work, you know, have a job without getting paid. And then that translates eventually into a real job, often at that location, right? I mean, if they're doing well there as a volunteer or as a work-based learning student or client, then when a job does open, they're standing in the door, and that's how it usually works. And I'll just add to that, to Julia's, you know, mention about volunteering. I really think, I don't think a lot of folks who do volunteer, you know, even adults that do not have any barriers, understand the importance of that. I would say a large number, I'm just going to guess and say, you know, 20 to 30% of our population that got a job, that the volunteering aspect of their resume, which was probably far greater than any job they had, is what helped them to get the job that they got. And even in my past life as a hiring agent, I hired many people who was off work for many years raising children, or something like that. But the volunteering gave them the skills they needed to get a great, you know, to get a great job in my company. So that's a critical piece of it, and that's something that all of you could do at home, especially. You know, it's important that young adults in the home have responsibilities, right? That's a great place to start. So I'm sorry if I went on with that. Work-based learning is a great program. Now, most of the stores have not allowed that to happen recently because of COVID, but it will pick up very soon. Thank you.
And I think one of the services that I think we can provide, our staff, like Todd said, I'm a certified special education teacher who is now a vocational employment specialist. One of our other vocational employment specialists is a retired teacher as well. So we have a lot of classroom experience, sitting down, teaching skills, teaching our students, our clients, to be able to break down a task. What does it take to do the task? What are the skills that you need? What are the items that you need? And developing checklists that become very helpful in the workplace. The interview skills, I think, is one of my favorite things to do with our clients, because most of the time we'll ask them, tell us a little bit about yourself. And they don't know how to answer that question. Sometimes they'll give an answer like, well, I like comics, or I like to watch TV, I like Netflix, I like Hulu, things like that. And so what we get a chance to do is really talk to them about what employers are looking for, but it also helps them to understand who they are and what do they want for a job. So during the interview skills training, we get a really great opportunity to get to know our clients a little bit better. They get to understand a little bit more about themselves. and what they want to do. We do some mock interviews. Some of our clients require some more visuals. Some require just things written in steps. The job training as well is something that I think we're able to offer at a level that maybe some others aren't able to, where we can go into the job site and work alongside the employer. One of the things that employers like about community employment programs is that they don't feel they're all alone. So when we take somebody in for their first day of work, we go with them and we make sure that they're successful. And then that manager can call us and reach us at whenever there's an issue, whenever there's maybe more training that needs to be done. I think one of the fun things that we've done recently that Todd and I and Ken did was we built basically a sorting system similar to what Amazon is using in order to teach our clients how to sort items, how to find pallets. If you've ever been in an Amazon warehouse, it's huge. And so sometimes when we go in, our clients might be a little confused. Well, what we do is we try to break down what their first day is going to look like, and we try to help them be ready for that first day so that we're not a few steps behind. Sometimes it takes us a little longer to process some of the skills that we need. We've already taught them those skills. So I think the performance modeling is something that's really a valuable thing that we can bring to the table when it comes to employment skills. But as you can see, we have lots of employers that have partnered with us. We're in a networking group with probably at least 150 different agencies, employers, city council people that are all interested in helping people to get jobs. So I'd encourage you to start thinking about what it is that your young adult might want to do. Maybe have a conversation with them, talk to us. We could have a brief intake and get ready for the future for what it is that your young adult is going to do. But we really want to provide services that are going to lead to competitive employment. So Todd, did you have anything else to wrap up with?
Sure. You know me, I like to talk. Julia, is it possible to take the screen down, your the briefing slide, so they could see how handsome I am? So thank you.
I don't know that.
That's okay. There's Julia, and oh, I have to start my video. Just want to make this more personal for those out there. Instead of looking at a screen, right, you're looking at us. And Elizabeth too. Yeah, me too, Elizabeth. So your last comment, Julia, about what the wonderful folks out there can do to help of course the most important thing about getting a job is wanting the job, right? So it's really, really important that the person wants to work and that it's not pushed upon them by someone else. It's got to, and of course they have to be somewhat job ready, but not completely job ready, because we found out often that those who we think aren't ready really are, and those who we think are not, are ready or not, right? We are all so different. And it's just like with the rest of the world, sometimes it's a crapshoot with a job, right? You just don't know. And so we'll have many individuals who will reluctantly start a job and not sure, I don't know, I want to do this. I'm a small, petite young woman. I don't know if I want to work in a warehouse, just so big, so many people, and you're supposed to be a big guy to handle boxes. No, I say the most successful people that we have at Amazon today with our 100 workers are those little petite females, right? who can lift as much as many of the rest of us guys. You don't have to lift a lot, right? You just have to be able to want to do the work. So sometimes, you just have to throw yourself to the wolves, right? You have to go out and give it a try, and not, we never know what we're going to get into until we get into it. So I think often I'm guilty of just throwing folks into the job force, and just most of the time I'm amazed at how well they do. Getting a job is one thing, but keeping it is another. And so we spend about half our time, at least, and Julie, you can tell me if that's a good number, with making sure that our clients keep their jobs, right? I've always said it's easy to get it, hard to keep it. It's that maintenance piece of the maintenance, the doing is the hard part. So we really try to focus on making sure that the relationship with the manager is the most critical part, just as it is your relationship with your boss, right? So we have to try to keep on that. And if we lose track of it, or the boss changes, or something happens in the workplace, it doesn't take long for it to go south, right? So keeping track of where your young adult or where you are in the workforce as it is related to being successful and having good personal relations with your boss is critical. You know, every person's different, and it's important that the manager, in this case, we try to be as open as possible with the barriers and possible disabilities, so that if something happens, everyone will be prepared to get it, you know, get it repaired or get it fixed or get it going, so that the person doesn't lose their job over something that's really not even important. And that does happen every now and then. So I say all that to say thank you for having us. It's a beauty to be here. It's a wonderful opportunity to be able to help folks change their lives. It's not just their lives, it's their families' lives and everyone around them. And we love doing what we're doing, and we love being a part of this, and we'll continue.
Well, and